the volume. I haven't turned off the heat yet. It's all happening so fast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It's me, T-Bone. It is Sunday morning. It's 10:30. It's time for the Supplemental. I am struggling. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's just me. It's a one person, me, trying to do too many things all at once. And I ran out of time. Because when you're doing a bunch of things all at once, you stumble, and then you find something, and your live is not eligible for recommendation, restricted, and service because it contains unoriginal and reproduced content. That's bullshit stuff. It's me. I'm going to go over here real quick and see if you're getting sound. I see James says we're up, but I have a black screen, and then something went wrong over here, and TikTok keeps trying to say I'm a civil rights violator or something like that. There we go. I got sound. Okay. Now, here's the craziest part. I have to grab something, and I have to put it over there where I can see it. I need like 6 more monitors. For one scattered brain person, 6 more monitors makes the most sense. But I have to take the information that we need to do the show and put it over here without affecting all of the other things that are going on. And the biggest challenge I seem to have is TikTok. And I don't get a lot of return on investment when it comes to TikTok. So if you're trying to convince me I don't need to be on a TikTok anymore, you say less words. I will leave that in for some and take it out for others. All right. So, hey. Hi, how are you? Me, T-Bone. Sorry for the slight delay in getting started today. Let's tell you what's going on. This is the LUNSB, the Supplemental. The Supplemental is an addition, an add-on, an addendum to your regularly scheduled LUNSB Show. LUNSB Show comes to you once a week. Supplemental. There's no delay between TikTok and Facebook. Ooh, good things are happening. So saith one of our listeners. Addition, an add-on, an addendum to your regularly scheduled LUNSB Show. LUNSB Show comes to you once a week. Supplemental comes to you once a week. And, in case you're bored, the Warno comes to you once a week. So there's a lot of LUNSB products. And we're on the giant billboard there in Hamden Township Park once a week. We do things. We're once a week people. That's who we are. But we're doing many things during the course of said week. Okay. Oh, yeah. During the Supplemental, we do 3 things. We talk to you about your national days of the week, and then we do a comedy, a charity, community event that we want you to know about, and we finish it up. Or public service announcement. We're going to add public service announcement to that one so I can use today as the example. And then we're going to wrap it up with the fan favorite portion of the show, This Week in History, trivia style. Again, simulcasting, multiple different things are going on. Camera source adjusted. Okay. Multiple things going on, and I'm doing my best to keep up with all of them. And apparently, one of the many things I've done is no longer get a delay, which is awesome when we get into the This Week in History trivia style portion of the show. That is right. We look at that, we decide what it's going to be, then we make a decision, and we execute. Let's get things started with your national days of the week. Tomorrow. Balls. That's not, it's, I mean, I have to go in here to AI. God bless. Is not January 26th. I'll explain in just a second. As soon as I fix my spelling corrections, because AI tends to be a little judgy. It takes from your attitude and gives it back to you. Saturday is not January 26th. Monday through Sunday of the next week without so many E's. I was so mad I typed 4 E's. In the year 2026. You know why? Because it's January 26th, I'm sure, is a January somewhere. But why do birds suddenly appear? And that was a good one. That was a good one. I was going to go hard into the paint with National Spouses Day. I actually, I shouldn't have said that because exactly. All right, let's see what it said. You're right. Thank you for the hard stop. Let's do this. Clean, correct, and verified calendar. Okay. From the top. Let's get things started with your national days of the week. Monday, January 26th, is National Spouses Day. If you have made a commitment to a person that you will stay with them until death, it's easy to take that person for granted, to not appreciate them for everything that they did, that they've done, that they'll do, that made you choose them to die with. Up to including death. You should appreciate your spouse. I'm speaking about my spouse. Oh, by the way, I'm her spouse, so she needs to get the message too. And you need to get the message, and she needs to get the message, and he needs to get the message that if this is the person you've chosen to live your life with, you should try to appreciate them and enjoy them. They're there for that. And they're there to drive you crazy. They do it. They do it. I can only speak for mine, okay? But I have since learned that if you've been married for a long time, we all married the same woman. We all did. We all married the same woman, and I can give you various examples. But my most recent example, and cheers along with me if I'm wrong. But, when your spouse comes in from being outside and her hands are absolutely frigid and the thing that they have to do is touch your bare skin just to let you know what it feels like. But it's never, here, feel this gently. No, it's always like, they all do it. And if your spouse isn't doing it yet, you haven't been married long enough because she's going to do it. That's what they do, unless you live in a hot climate and you've never had cold hands. But find a way to appreciate your spouse every day, especially Monday, January 26th, National Spouses Day. So as I look at the screen right now, it looks like everybody is home today. You should have a lot of live viewers today. I was thinking the same thing there, Roger. I was hoping for more than a few today. And I wanted to really go on a rant there. And this is for people who watch the supplemental version of this live and the full uncut version. I really wanted to do a spot in there about cabin fever. Because even though me and my wife being in the same house on a Sunday isn't really that big of a deal, apparently the fact that she can't escape is driving her bonkers. And maybe me too. The Shining. It makes sense now. Okay. I thought it was funny. I expected some real-time. I don't know why. I was expecting some real-time feedback on that. Oh. I have never done that one before, and that seems perfectly logical to do it. Now it doesn't. It's, yeah, why not? Why not? And the thing I need to check on, I guess, before we start rolling again is No, it looks like we're doing good. Everything looks like it's doing good. Oh, okay. I see people that I like and people that I don't like. There's really nobody I shouldn't like. Have got out a night before. Are the comments loading? They are loading in TikTok, which I try not to pay too much attention to. And I just double checked, and it looks like Roger was the last one that made a comment. And if that's not true, then I need to hit refresh or something somewhere. We'll find out after we do the next one. Right over here. Tuesday, January 27th, is National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. And appreciate the bubble wrap while you have it, okay? It's not going to be there forever. They're taking the bubble wrap away. They came out with the peanuts, not environmentally friendly and taste horrible. But they came out with the packing peanuts, and that was supposed to get rid of bubble wrap. But there's still places where bubble wrap exists, and bubble wrap technology moved on to putting bubble wrap already installed inside the envelope. Big bubble wrap, man. That's where it's all at. But when I speak of bubble wrap, I'm talking about the cute little adorable. That's the bubble wrap that deserves appreciation. Because if you give me a sheet of that, put me in a corner. I don't need an iPad or an iPhone or anything. Just me over there just popping little bubbles. I don't know what brings me so much joy when I have a piece of bubble wrap in my hand, but it does. And then they came out with the peanuts. And then they came out with the big bubbles. It looks like all of them look like somebody that got a Ebola. And for whatever reason, Dr. Pimple Popper showed up in Ebola land and just started busting giant air bubbles. I hate the giant air bubbles. And then they came out with the long dongs, the big tubes of air to protect your products. And we don't need any of that. We don't need none of that. Make things sturdier so that they don't break in shipping. And a little sheet of bubble wrap around it. Because it's dual purposed, okay? It protects, but also think about that on Monday, January 27th, National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. Moving on. Are the comments loading? Yes. Parking peanuts are terrible works. Wonka. Okay. I do have to stress a little bit more to read the comments in the player, so try not to lean in too much. So you don't have to. This is better at a distance. I'm aware. You're not telling me I don't know nothing I don't know. Yeah, we'll do that. Wednesday, January 28th, is National Blueberry Pancake Day. I don't think there's a lot of fruits that you can put inside of pancakes that make pancakes better. Pancakes are perfectly fine just the way they are, okay? And then you add some syrup to the pancakes, and then that makes them taste like syrupy pancakes. And if you're bougie and you got some blueberry syrup, I don't know. There's so many, and we're always thinking about what do the listeners think. What is your idea? What is your comment? What is your favorite? What do you even call it? Sauce? What is it the stuff you pour on top of the pancakes? Syrups. What's your favorite flavor? I tell you, I like boysenberry, and I couldn't pick out a boysenberry in a police lineup. Turn to your right. I don't know. I can tell you it's not the banana. Who let the banana in here in this group of berries? That banana shouldn't be there. And I think about banana because banana and blueberries, as far as I can recollect in all of my years of pancake fruit eating accessories, as far as I can recollect, bananas and blueberries are the only ones that make blueberries taste slightly more better. Because the pancake, buttermilk, oh, that's a good one. But that's not a fruit. What are you saying over there? Chocolate chip? Yeah, that's great, great, great. Not a fruit. We're talking about fruits here, okay? You put any citruses, in there, then it's not so good. So you get an orange. I've never seen an orange pancake, and there's probably a good reason for that. Killed the guy who ate it. Think about and let us know, what is your favorite syrup? And enjoy it on top of your pancakes. On Wednesday, January 28th, National Blueberry Pancake Day. I feel like going to Denny's. I feel like going to Denny's. I put it out there. I do things. I go to Denny's. I'm getting my tires done. Quick story, quick deviation. I'm getting my tires done. I'll cut this out for the shorter version. I'm getting my tires done. I got some time to kill. There's a Denny's within walking distance. I walk over there. I sit down. While I'm waiting to be seated, because, wow, the Sunday morning's Denning crew just didn't come to work, but all the customers did, so they were really delayed in getting us in. And I'm just standing there, I'm a table for one, please, because I'm lonely. And a guy comes in, table for one, please, because he's lonely. And then another one comes in, table for one, please. So there's three other people that come in. Young black man, an older white man, and like a guy from the set of frickin' Mad Men. It was a strange collection. So they all come in, and I come in. And we all sit and we eat. And this is the weekend of the AFC divisionals. And I'm really just trying to put some good karma, some good energy out there in the world, man. So I told the waiter, I was like, hey, give me the checks for all the guys that came in and ate by themselves. And I'm thinking it's Denny's, man. I'm thinking I'm going to get off like, $5, $6, $7. I did not correctly estimate. But I put that energy out there, and to this day, there's three grown men out there going, I wonder who paid and why they paid for my breakfast at Denny's. Because it's important to do nice things for people, even random, really random nice things. All right, and again, live supplemental audience, people that watch the full uncut version of the supplemental in the distance, they get that story. Everybody else, it's cut out. Not going to see it. Oh, yes. Thursday, January 29th is For this one, I'm going to word it differently. Thursday, January 29th. Is National Curmudgeon Day. Do you know, first of all, curmudgeon, awesome word. It's just an awesome word. Do you know what it means? Because there's a lot of times out there you'll hear a word and you think you know what it means. But a curmudgeon or being curmudgeonly, some people just hear it and they just think, yeah. But it's not, yeah. It's really deep, sinister, foul hatred of everything. That's a curmudgeon. A curmudgeon is a life stealer. A curmudgeon is a person who walks in the room and instantly kills it. A curmudgeon is a person who's never said nice things about other people and whose life view is very sinister, and threats of thoughts of violence are not uncommon in a curmudgeon. And curmudgeon sometimes comes with age. You become curmudgeon-y like this when you get older. But maybe a curmudgeon is one thing away from returning. I think it comes in phases. I think you're normal, you're a little irritated, and then you hate the world, and then something happens and it kind of brings you back to irritated. Or if you're lucky, it brings you back to normal. Normal, irritated, top-end curmudgeon-y. But curmudgeons are always on the verge of one or two things, right? The curmudgeons are on the verge, on the on the edge of three things. I love math. A curmudgeon is either going to continue on the path of being curmudgeonly, divert back to a path of lesser curmudgeonness, or die. That's the two sides of the blade, the three sides of the blade of the forward path of curmudgeons. So, if you know one, and surprisingly, I think many of you know exactly who I'm thinking of at this moment. But if you know of one, try to brighten their day. Give them a piece of candy, right? Bring them a coffee. Say hello with a smile. Do something really nice for the curmudgeons in your life, and maybe they'll return to a lesser stage. And you can enjoy them again. Or maybe not. You know, they got three options. Think about that on Thursday, January 29th, National Curmudgeon Day. That was a fun one. We'll go with that. I'm looking at your comments. Curmudgeon, don't wipe and far after walking away. All right. You know, we all try to be funny, James. Sometimes you can be. Oftentimes, you're not. I said what I said. Moving on. Friday, January 30th is National Croissant Day. If you couldn't hear the pronunciation of Croissantas, and that's probably not spelled right, but I tried to do it in my head quickly, which is croissantes, if you looked at the letters that are in front of you. But you will always hear the French pronounce it with a KW. I think there's a Y and a dollar sign in there. A croissant, a KWY dollar sign NK, and the second K is silent. Croissant. Where are you getting croissants? Come on. You're going to go to Burger King. They got a pretty good deal on their croissant. You're going to go to BJ's. Why? Because I love BJ's. And you're going to get 70 of them for $6, and you're only going to eat 6 before throwing them all away. Or for some reason, you find yourself in a fancy bread store, and you look at the prices of the fancy bread inside the fancy bread store and realize they are out of control. And the cheapest thing they have on the menu that you're having coffee with a friend is a $6 croissant. So you get it. And then it's light, fluffy, buttery deliciousness. And you go to the counter on your way out and you take a dozen home with you. Because I don't think there's more butter that you could put in a thing than a croissant. A properly made, I'm not talking the BJ 72 pack, okay? I'm talking like a no kidding, like a child was raised as an apprentice to learn how to make the family recipe croissant, and milks their own cows and only uses like the top portion of the milk in the. Anyway, I don't know milking anything. Well, I mean, yes, apprenticed for years and years to make the perfect croissant, and the perfect croissant in his village takes 3 pounds of butter per croissant. So although when they're made right, they are just they're heavenly, and you don't need to add anything to them. Oh, I add Nutella to mine. Well, you could do that with the BJ 72 pack. You don't need a high quality croissant. For a high quality croissant, you just eat it the way it is, and accept the fact that you just gained 4 pounds. Now think about that. On January 30th, National Poisson Day. Moving on. La 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 la. Ooh, backward. You make me angry when you do those things. We'll do this. Saturday, January 31st is National Hot Chocolate Day. You know, if you don't enjoy the little things in life, you're just letting the best things in life pass you by. I don't know who said it or why they said it, but it kind of sort of makes sense. If there are amazing things out there in the world and you're not enjoying them, why? Especially if they don't hurt nobody, okay? If the thing that's out there that you should try but haven't doesn't hurt nobody, well, what are you waiting for? And I think, and I say this because we're currently in the middle of a snowmageddon, and it's light and it's fluffy snow. It's beautiful snow. Everything is clean right now. Everything is just untouched, beautiful, just the way it is, the way I like it. Beautiful, untouched, just the way it is. But you got to go out there and you got to clear pass. You know, you got to make some room. You got to move this stuff around a little bit, and then you come inside and it's sub-zero temperatures and it's 45 feet of snow, and your betrothed is just sitting there with a hot cup of hot cocoa with some spray on top of it, you know, and some sprinkles. It's got some sprinkles of some brown stuff on top of and there's steam coming off of the cup, and she hands it to you gently, and you take it, and you get a whipped cream mustache, and you taste the deliciousness of hot cocoa in your throat as it goes down your esophagus and warms your belly. I have never talked myself into wanting a cup of hot cocoa as much as I just did right now. And the problem with that is, I don't think we got any in the house. We don't drink hot cocoa. I could. Right now, I have the taste for it. I want to. But, as a regular thing, who does? Who? It's kind of a bold choice. If you're regularly drinking hot cocoa, that just can't be good for you. But you can make an exception. You can adjust your schedule a little bit. Maybe Saturday, January 31st isn't good for you. Then celebrate it on Hot Cocoa Eve. Or come up with a Kwanzaa-styled thing that takes you from January 31st up until Groundhog's Day. And, you could call it, I don't know, something. Hey, ChatGPT, give me a funny name here. Or not. Saturday, and that is Saturday, January 31st. National Hot Chocolate Day. All right. Addressing one of the comments, cinnamon, nutmeg. I said brown stuff, all right? I've seen that. I believe I've seen that sprinkled on top of nutmeg. I think I said nutmeg. On top of the white stuff that is the hot cocoa. Or just put some frickin' marshmallows in it, man. Why are you so judgmental? Go now. Go away. And go make your family some hot cocoa. And bring smiles to their faces. And put sprinkles on it or don't put sprinkles on it. I don't sprinkling care. Or put some nutmeg on it. Maybe it's amazing. Cinnamon. Cinnamon and nutmeg. Or garlic salt for all I care. I don't care. And I'm delaying because I can't find a good one to celebrate on Groundhog's Day Eve. One of my favorite days of the year, but the selections that I have are not good. So I'm going to go with, all right, I'll go with this. Sunday, February 1st. Groundhog's Day Eve, is National Dark Chocolate Day. There are many jokes to be said about things that are dark being bad, right? Black Friday, whatever, Black Tuesday, whatever. You put the word black in front of something and it's supposed to be derogatory, except when it comes to chocolate. Did I say black? I meant to say dark. There was a thing. I was dark, but yeah, I slipped up. And black chocolate. Well, black chocolate is dark chocolate. Do I redo that, or do I just keep pushing forward? I think you just keep pushing forward. Mistakes happen. Again, the correlation I was trying to make was to get you to things that are dark. You put some dark word in front of a thing and it makes it bad. I got it now. You put another dark word in front of a thing and that's bad too. It's like dark matter is bad, okay? But not with chocolate. Because dark chocolate is supposed to be the one, like the savior. Dark chocolate is supposed to be like, no. You got diabetes. You can eat dark chocolate. Yeah, I can't have the cookie. No, you can have the cookie. It's made with dark chocolate chips. And less sugar and better for you. And it's good for your heart. I don't think it cures cancer. Dark chocolate is the Superman. It's the dark Superman. It is the best of the best, apparently. And if you took my earlier suggestion about what was it, Croissant Day and rolling it Kwanzaa style all the way to Groundhog's Day, this is lining up well. You could have some dark chocolate with your croissant. And that is February the 1st. National Dark Chocolate Day. Moving on. I'm going to take a sip and I'm going to come right back to you. No, I am not going to Puxatawny this year. I want to. I really feel bad that I haven't done it yet, but my friend Brandon's going to go, and I'm looking forward to his. He's a good reporter of events, so I'm looking forward to his recollections of his visit to Puxatawny. But he has someone living there. Days in January: pancakes, cocoa, chocolate, croissants. What's up next? Cereals? It could be. I don't make the list, Roger. All right, it's time for your Char / public service announcement. So with the LUNSB Show for years and years and years, we had to do it because we were talking about these things, and public service things or announcements were part of our show. We were regularly making public service announcements to the community to say, do this and do that, but don't do this and don't do that. Traditionally, what's known as a PSA. So we did those: driving, drinking and driving, assaulting, non-suiciding, all of the things we did public service announcements for. But one of the things we've never done a public service announcement for that I saw needs to be done is cold weather accident survival. Recently, 151 cars in Michigan decided to get together in an unnatural way. Most recently and closely to my home, Friday night, a whole bunch of cars got together in an unnatural way, and it looked like a NASCAR. It was like a NASCAR accident. There are complete 360 tire spins, deviations to the left, deviations to the right, loss of coefficient friction, all of the things into the guardrail, just a debris field, all of the things that make a fantastic NASCAR wreck occurred between the exit I got off on and the exit I got on. It was bad. Okay? That's not the worst part. Looks like everybody survived. It looks like everybody survived. The worst part is you're going to be there for a while in the worst conditions. Okay, you got a big pileup like that. You can't stay in your car. Now they're going to tell you, and I agree to the most part, the safest place in a car accident in cold weather conditions is still going to be inside your car. There's still a level of protection there that you kind of want around you, even though you may get hit a couple more times. Okay, we're talking. There was a collision. And now you're involved in the collision because somebody bumped you, you bumped somebody, and your car's mostly in shape, okay? There's a lot of variables here. It's a decision you alone have to make, whether you stay in your car or whether you get out of your car. But there's a point where staying in your car is the best, and then there's a point where getting out of your car is the best. Irregardless, the public service announcement I'm providing you with today is have cold weather clothes on you, even if you're just going to the store. Even if you're going just a very short little trip away, because, again, this accident happened between the exit I get off on. I get off onto this highway, and the exit I get on. I get on this highway. Let's do it in that order. I get on the highway to go home. The very next exit is the exit I get off of. And this tremendous crash occurred right there, right in between my two exits. And there were people outside that were not prepared. These were people who had gone to work that morning wearing work clothes and a light jacket to get from the parking lot to their office. And when they left, they wore the same light jacket to get from the parking lot to their office. And they drove home thinking nothing was going to happen to them. But then they got involved in a pileup. And that little light jacket in the conditions that we were in on Friday was not enough. That person guaranteed survived the crash, but suffered from hypothermia. It was so cold, and she was not dressed for the conditions, and she wasn't the only one. Now, if you think about the 151 car pileup in Michigan, there's a lot of people there who may have died not from the car accident, but from hypothermia because they were not prepared. Or maybe Michiganders are better prepared for that. But for places that don't get that kind of snow on a regular basis, anywhere, Tulsa right now is getting snow. Louisiana got snow, right? People, California gets snow in the high desert, things like that. You're not expecting it. It happens. The worst thing that could happen is you have to leave the safety of your vehicle and you're not prepared. So for you and your loved ones, and I think the wintertime is an important time to remind everybody, leave the house with warm clothing. Warm enough to walk home clothing. You don't have to wear it, but have it with you. Because, things are bad, and then they go from bad to worse, and then they come from the point where you're like, I give up. And your body just says, oh, you give up? And shuts it down. It shuts it all down. Little Casey Kasem there. And now, our top 40. All right, so there is your National Days of the Week. There is your ComCom Char and public service announcement. Let's move on to the fan favorite portion of the program. This week in history, trivia style. 7 questions with multiple choice answers set to medium difficulty and provided to us by ChatGPT. I tried. Her children wouldn't let her. All right. Fix the hat. Here we go. Again, take a sip. All right. Everything's looking good. Looking good, looking good. Looking good in the hood, neighborhood. Waffle House was open. Emergency personnel only. Please stay off the roads. It is dangerous out there. They pan over on Union Deposit Road, and there's the Waffle House, and she's open. All right. Again. And now it's time for the fan favorite portion of the show. This week in history, trivia style. 7 questions set to 7 multiple choice questions set to medium difficulty, provided to us by ChatGPT. If there are any mistakes in the answers or the questions, I am not responsible. And don't use anything here that would make me responsible. I heard it. I heard it on the supplemental, so I did it. No, 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 no. Let's not do that. Question. How is that not working? Question number 1. On January 18th, on January 18th, 1919, what international agreement officially ended World War I? Here's the date for you again. It's January 18th, 1919. What international agreement officially ended World War I? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it the Treaty of Paris, the Treaty of Versailles, the Treaty of London, or the Treaty of Ghent? I've been to 3 of the 4. I've never been to Versailles. I was close enough to go to Versailles, but I didn't because I didn't feel like walking. I am looking for some answers. Mr. Taney's going to start us off with Versailles. And it's okay if you're watching on TikTok and that answer hasn't popped up yet. So there is a bit of a delay from what I'm seeing and what they're seeing, and probably a bit of delay of what's happening. Roger, also going with Versailles. I don't know who else is playing along today. I can see numbers. I see there are people. I see there are people. If you want to play along, you don't have to answer in a timely fashion. But if you do, I will say your name and your answer. But short of that, oh, there she is. Hello, my favorite Jessica of the Taney clan. She's also going with Versailles. Would you be surprised to know that it wasn't the Treaty of Versailles? Yeah, I would be too, because I'm pretty sure it's Versailles. So that is our answer. Again, a quick reminder, I don't know the answers to the questions. I mean, I might know, but I don't know the answers to the questions until we get to the end and we go through that together. Question number 2. January 19th, 1809, which American writer and poet was born in Boston, Massachusetts? January 19th, 1809, which American writer and poet was born in Boston, Massachusetts? Massachusetts what? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it Nathan Hawthorne, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Edgar Allan Poe, or Ralph Waldo Emerson? American writer and poet born in Boston, Mass. on January 19th, 1809. Roger is going to go with Poe. It's possible. There's a lot of things about Poe that were very Bostonian in his behavior. But Poe is normally associated with Baltimore. Jessica goes with Poe. Roger goes with Poe. James goes with Hawthorne. Uh-oh. We got a split decision today amongst our live people playing along. Was Poe Baltimore, hence the Ravens? Yes. Yes. He is associated with Baltimore, and that's why the team is named the Ravens. I think it's Longfellow. I don't know. It's one of those things. Either you know it or you don't know it. I don't know which one of these famous poets was born in Boston. Could it be Poe? Absolutely. But it could just be any of them. So my guess is Longfellow. James's guess is Hawthorne. And everybody else went with Edgar Allan Poe. Question number 3. On January 20th, 1961, which U.S. president was inaugurated and delivered the famous line, "Ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you"? I did it that way so I wouldn't do the accent. Here are your multiple choice options. Was it Dwight David Eisenhower, Lyndon Baines Johnson, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, or Richard Nixon? James is the first to pop in with Kennedy, and then he abbreviated that for us all. I am delaying just a timely manner to let you get your answers in. See what you got to say publicly. Jessica's going to go with JFK. She took the abbreviated version of saying it. I'm almost positive Roger's going to get it right, and I'm going to get it right. We're all going to get it right. We're all going to say the same thing. Okay? Yes. Ask not what you can do for your country, but ask what your country can do for you. That was one. I do bad impressions often and well. Moving on. Question number 4. On January 21st, I'm taking away points because you didn't capitalize properly. I'm just kidding, man. On January 21st, 1954, which nuclear-powered submarine was launched? January 21st, 1954, which nuclear-powered submarine was launched? Was it the Seawolf? Was it the Nautilus? Was it the Enterprise or the Los Angeles? I guess this would sound better but there was only one Kennedy in the multiple choice answers, okay? I know there are multiple Kennedys. Anyway, moving on. I got distracted. Here are your multiple choice answers, putting USS in front of them. Was it the USS Seawolf, the USS Nautilus, the USS Enterprise, or USS Los Angeles? It's January 20th, 1954. It's the first, it's a nuclear-powered submarine. It was launched on this day. Located in Groton, Connecticut, been on her many times. That's what she said. Nautilus and Nautilus is what I've got there. And we're giving Jessica a moment to get her live answer in. There it is. She's a Nautilus fan. You know why? Because the answer's Nautilus. Seawolf, man, that wasn't even close. USS Enterprise was only done for Star Trek geeks. And USS Los Angeles, well, that's a shitty boat. That's a bad boat. Sorry. Sorry, I just, right. Question number 5. On January 22nd, 1973, which U.S. Supreme Court decision was issued? January 22nd, 1973. Was it Miranda v. Arizona, Brown v. Board of Education, Roe v. Wade, or Gideon v. Wainwright? Which of these Supreme Court cases was issued on January 22nd, 1973? Was it Miranda v. Arizona, Brown v. Board of Education, Roe v. Wade, or Gideon v. Wainwright? I look in the comments, and I got Roe v. Wade, and I got Roe v. Wade. Roger and James are both adamant that it's Roe v. Wade. And I never fact-check jokes that I tell. One of the jokes that I've told for many years is how I'm glad Roe v. Wade came. No, this is normally correct. I'm glad Roe v. Wade came after my birth, because if it was a legal option at the time of my birth, I'm sure I wouldn't be here. My mommy loves me. So everyone's saying Roe v. Wade, and as I think about the joke, I'm thinking my joke is correct, and we're all going to go with Roe v. Wade. So far, it's only our history of American writers and poets that's going to separate the wheat from the chaff this week. On January 23rd, 1960, 2 explorers reached the deepest point in the world's ocean with which vessel? January 23rd, 1960, 2 explorers reached the deepest point in the world's oceans with which vegetable? I could tell you where they were. I'm going to tell you what name they wrote on the side of their tiny little ship. But here are the multiple choice answers, and maybe I can guess the right one. James pops in with the Trieste immediately. That's a good sign if it's one of our options, that he just knew that. What was the one that blew up? It's not that one. And it's not the Trieste. Tricky. They got me. Was it the Alvin? Was it the Bathscape Trieste? Was it the Nautile? Not Nautilus, it's Nautile. Or was it Challenger 2? As Bathscape Trieste, especially with James jumping in early with Trieste, that makes so much sense. But for some reason, and I think I always question this, why would they name the first thing to do this thing that? And it was Challenger 2. Why would the first thing to go to the deepest part of the world's oceans be called the second thing? Roger's going to go with the Bath Trieste. Alvin did Titanic. Alvin may have been the first one. Jessica's going with Trieste. You are all abandoning me. And I think you're remembering history incorrectly. I believe, I see everybody saying Trieste. I believe it's the Challenger 2. And I don't know why I think I know that. Sometimes I just know things. And other times I'm just wrong. Isn't that how it works for all of us? Sometimes I know the right answer, and then other times I don't. On January 24th, 1984, which product was introduced during a Super Bowl commercial? Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. Maybe it is. Don't know. Not looking it up. I could be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be right. January 24th, 1984, what product introduced itself during a Super Bowl commercial? Was it the IBM PC, the Apple Macintosh, the Sony Walkman, or the Commodore 64? January 24th, 1984. It's the Super Bowl. At one time in my life, I could tell you who was playing in that Super Bowl. I don't do that anymore. IBM PC, I don't keep those facts in my brain anymore. I let them all loose. Run free, facts, run free. The Apple Macintosh, the Sony Walkman, or the Commodore 64. That's it. That's our last question of the day. As I slowly await your answers, I am going to just do a quick web search. Walkman in the Bears refrigerator. And Apple Mac says Roger. Walkman says James. Jessica's pending an answer. Challenger 2. Apple Mac. I realize how distracting this is. Bad. This is bad facts. All right. Deep Sea Challenger. I'm probably going to get that one wrong. And there's Jessica. She's tuning in with the Walkman. Roger's going with the Apple Mac. James is going to go with the Walkman. I think Jessica just went along with James's answer for the fun of it. Wrong. The answer is the Apple Macintosh. And the commercial is very 1984-esque of the George Orwell group speak thing, when the chick walks in clothing not approved by the state and launches a spear at the screen. Come on, guys. It's 1984. It's the Apple Mac, not the Walkman. You had the Walkman long before 84. As soon as we invented cassette tapes, like 2 weeks later, Sony came out with the Walkman. But back then, it cost like $6,000. That's what it cost. All right. Here we go. I'm typing the answers. I'm typing the phrase answers, please, into ChatGPT so we can find out what it told us or what we wanted to know. Again, the goal is to go 7 for 7. And if you go 7 for 7, it's going to brighten your day. It's just going to make you feel good. It had to catch up. Okay. Yeah. If you don't go 7 for 7, you know, it ain't that serious. There's no money involved. I don't care if you think you're right. I don't care if you think you're right. When we read the answers, the answer is not going to be Walkman. It's going to be Sony Macintosh. Because it's 1984. And it was the biggest commercial ever. The answer for question number 1, congratulations. We all got it right. It was, of course, the Treaty of Versailles. Question number 2. If you know, you know. And as my old chief, I should have listened to the man. When he said Poe, I should have said, Roger knows what he's doing. I'm going with Poe. But no, I had to be different. Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston. A new fact I will never forget. And remember when I said because his behavior was very Bostony? It all makes sense now. Question number 3, of course, we all got it right, was John F. Kennedy. Question number 4 was U.S. Nautilus. Question number 5 was Roe v. Wade. Question number 6 was the Trieste. Good job, Mr. Taney, knowing information before the multiple choices were offered. And I should have listened to you. But you weren't my old chief, and I doubt everything you've ever told me. Finally, question number 7. As the 2 oldest guys in the room know, it was the Apple Macintosh, without a doubt. And if you've never seen that commercial, I highly recommend you go back in time on YouTube and look at the Apple Macintosh 1984 Super Bowl commercial. It is the beginning of the genre known as Super Bowl commercials. Hey, folks, and that's it. That's it. We're right at, what are we looking at time-wise? I don't know. I got too many screens up. We're doing good. We're doing good. Yep, doing good. We're going to wrap it up now. 3 minutes early. I'm going to remind you today, as I remind you every day. Dress warmly for bad weather, even if you don't expect to be outside in the bad weather. That's my winter warning reminder. Dress warmly for winter. Even if you don't plan to be out there, have those clothes nearby. Keep yourself alive and comfortable. I take this opportunity to remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love. The supplemental is over.